Big cat, how you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. No rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The use spell workers' projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat, move in silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.
Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome or welcome back for your message or massages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Let's dive in, darling dears, and unpack. Oh, you have a 7, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. The energy of the 7 is a highly spiritual number, darling dears. It's all a part of your spiritual ascension. Your birthday could be the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th. Your luckiest numbers over the next few days would be 4, 5, and 7. It's about you, what? Just because you know the path doesn't mean you have to rub people's noses in it, especially people that you must leave behind. Why? Forgiveness must be in your heart and in every move you make, darling dears. This is letting go of situations. You are a natural born explorer, darling dears, highly intuitive. The luckiest letters, or these letters may be of some importance to you over the next few days, are G, P, and Y. The number 7 is ruled by Neptune energy, darling dears. And Neptune comes in with the letters O, Z. So G, P, Y, O, and Z. Okay? Your luckiest days will be Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Numbers to be avoided: 2, 3, 6, and 8. In astrology, the number 7 is represented by a semi-sextile. That's a V with a line underneath it. It speaks about your healing and your transformation. Healing from a neighbor, because the semi-sextile is at 30 degrees, so it's next to it, darling dears. You're healing from something that was close to you at some point, but no more. You have the energy of the 1. The 1 speaks about what? Full-on evaluation, darling dears. Evaluate everything that comes across your eye chakras, especially your what? Intuition, darling dears. Pay attention. If you have a major decision or move to make, darling dears, don't make it until after the next new moon, which will be on the 9th of February. New moon in Aquarius at 20 degrees and 40 minutes. Okay, remember I told you that. You also have the energy of the 6. It speaks about cooperation. Someone or someone would like you to cooperate with them, darling dears. But remember, you come with the 1. The 1 is about you being an individual. You're an initiator. This is a new beginning for you, darling dears. The energy of the 1-6. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. You're about to get a much more happier home, darling dears, in the form of a relationship or in the abundance that you create for yourself. Someone is also coming to visit you, darling dears, or you're going to meet someone along your travels over the next few days, they're going to tell you something which is going to have a significant impact on your plans. Darling dears, be prepared for incoming. And remember, we do the boosie badass round here. Don't get smoke central. All is evaluated. All is investigated. Right. The energy of the 7 in tarot is ruled by the chariot energy. Chariot is Cancer, which is moon energy, darling dears. So it speaks about your determination. This is your spiritual ascension. Your ancestors are giving you a smack on the back, darling dears. This is an ancestral read. Good golly and gosh. All right. Let's carry on. Why do I say that? Because Cancer is the 4th house, and it's the house of what? Ancestors, darling dears. Your roots. You've broken some kind of generational cycle, darling dears. Go for it, darling dears, and keep going. Never look back. Remember Lot's wife, Salt Bay. Somebody's also closing on some kind of real estate, a new residence, a property. You've also had some form of issue with your mother or your mother figure growing up, darling dears. Your Saturn placements on your chart will show you the relationship you had with your primary caregiver or parent or parents. You've tapped into your inner warrior, darling dears. You're going to be meeting someone new. As I said, somebody's coming to tell you something which is going to have a significant impact on your life. Others are planning a trip or a journey. It's going to go well, darling dears. Unheard a mobile home, living in a van, but it's a different form of travel to what you normally do, darling dears. Expect an invitation. But victory is on your side. So, this is an ancestral read, eh, bestie? As we sip our mochas, because we ain't getting smoked. Ancestors are saying to you, darling dears, descendants, take heed of these ancestral words. There are 3 places you must avoid at all costs. The first place is what? Round in circles, repetitive actions or patterns with no clear progress or resolution. 555 on the counter, quantum level of change, a leap of faith, darling dears, took you to this what? This new versatile version of yourself, darling dears. The energy of change is here. I nearly said enemy. You have many enemies, darling dears. The second place is back and forth, having conversational interactions with people hell-bent on painting you as what? The Looney Tunes, darling dears. The accursed one, the black sheep, darling dears. You let all of that go. What else did you do? The third thing? You don't go out of your way. You ain't doing nothing extra. Blood, brah, or sistrine. In the people-pleasing rounds. You're not making anyone happy. Making yourself small. Denying your gifts. Your ancestors are making sure that you heed this warning to avoid these 3 places and continue your ascension. We saw the energy of the moon, darling dears. Cancer energy through the what? Chariot. Some of you have a new vehicle, darling dears. Your chariot of righteousness. Why is it righteous? Anywhere you choose to go in your chariot, your car, your vehicle, your bus, your van, your motorbike, whatever your transportation is, darling, this is righteous. This is about your ambivert nature. Yes, you can be extrovert, but you can also be introvert. But it's about you combining the two and realizing that your energy is not for everyone, darling dears. You are breaking generational curses, have broken generational curses. Right, let's get Oracle message. I'm going to go with the life lesson cards. Let's see if I can find the book. If I can't find the book, then you're not meant to know. Well, lo and behold, I found the book. Right. Time to decide, darling dears. Remember, time waits for no man or woman, darling dears. You are stepping into a new spiritually guided version of yourself. One which don't take no chat from no dummy bat. What does your ancestors want you to know? Yeah, moving on, and you're being protected, darling dears. Didn't I not just say travel? Maybe you'll have travel plans. You're planning, everything is going to go well. But moving away is what? God's protection, darling dears, for the redirection. Remember the 3 places you must avoid at all costs. You are being protected by Archangel Michael himself, darling dears. Posh clap. Who rules what? The solar plexus. This is about your willpower, your personal power, your self-esteem, your confidence, darling dears, to move forward. Some of you live in the east or you're traveling towards the east, darling dears. The solar plexus is ruled by the sun energy, right? Sun is the 5th house. The 5th house of what? risks, as well as drama, darling dears. But it's also about your creativity no longer being confused or blocked. Many of you have something going on online. Maybe you have a platform, darling dears. You are protected. You come with the word, darling dears. Wow. Love it. Base of the deck. We've got trust the process. Yeah, some of you are readers, darling dears. Trust the process. You had to what? Go through culling season. Cutting away. Breaking those generational curses. The curse could be anything from alcohol, maybe the drugs, maybe it's the sex, maybe it's the backstabberation, the jealousy, the envy, the hate. Yes! You busted it wide open, darling dears. And will continue to do so once you avoid the advice as a descendant. Your ancestors tell you to avoid these three places at all costs. The rounding circles, the back and forth, and out of your way. If you was on an airplane, they'll tell you to save yourself first, darling dears. You can't save anyone unless you save yourself. Protected. Let's have a quick look. We'll see where it's at. It's on page 71. That's the energy of an 8, darling dears. For you to screenshot and read at your leisure or leisure, darling dears. I'm not going to read all of them, but I'm going to put them all out there. I'm just going to read the bits that stand out to me. You are safe and supported while you change your career. You're moving from one career to another, darling. There's letting go. The career could be whatever people please, or you may actually be moving from a physical career. All right? You, like everyone, have a unique and much needed life purpose that awaits you with open arms. When you fully commit to helping others through your purpose, the doors of opportunity and support open wide. Your career transition will ride upon the smooth wings of the angels as long as you're focused upon serving a higher good. All right. You also have travel. Travel is on page 93. The 9 and 3 goes down to is a 12, which goes down to a 3. Empress energy. Empress is about knowing your worth and adding tax. It also speaks about you being fertile, darling. Yes, you may be pregnant at this moment in time, or pregnant with your infinite possibility, about to birth a different version of yourself and something new, a new career possibly, because you're letting go or you're standing in the career that you've chosen. Something spiritually guided, darling dears. This is for travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. And it's right next to trust. Imagine that. Let me show you trust as well. So you see the ending of travel here, beginning of trust. That's the last page of the trust. All right. This is about travel. This card also speaks of movement in your life with adventurous and life-enhancing changes occurring for you now and in the immediate future. By letting go of old and stepping into these changes, you gain a sense of meaning and fulfillment that you've desired. The former stagnation is replaced with a passion for new projects and relationships. The third meaning of the card is that your life purpose involves technology, especially with respect to computers and telecommunications. This could be a signal, this could signal telecommunicating where you work from home via computer, or it could literally mean that your work involves computer programming, sales, and such. All right. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. This is about your career, darling dears. You're breaking generational curses. The first step to notice your feelings. You do so by creating some quiet time alone where you can talk with yourself as you ask yourself questions like, what do I really want? And what is best for my life purpose? And then notice the physical and emotional feelings that come in response. Your feelings are physical embodiments of heaven's guidance to you, trusting their validity. Even if you don't understand them or feel certain about what they mean. Let me tell you something. You are being tasked to move forward, darling dears. And many of you are about to what? Have a spontaneous change in your career. Remember I told you that. If you have a platform, expect it to be what? Buffed up in an abundant kind of a way. Why? You've done the due diligence, darling dears. You overcame things that were unovercomable by people you left behind. All right, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Thank you. We've got what? Decisions about resulting from fairness, darling dears. Libra energy. Libra is the 7th house, contractual partnerships. You made a decision about these partnerships to what? Release them, darling dears, in order to what? Heed the warning of your ancestral team. To avoid at all costs, you bring the balance. The 7th house is also represented by the lower courts, lesser courts, darling dears. Some kind of court proceedings amongst peers, but it also speaks about contract relationships, darling dears, that you are putting down. Why? You've completed your soul contract with them. Your loyalty cannot be what? Pulled about like taffy. Somebody's trying to project something onto you, possibly trying to mirror your actions, but it's a form of projection. Something to do with your paternal grandfather or maternal grandmother. You're bringing balance into the situation. Good golly and gosh. Semi-sextile energy, darling dears. Healing and transformation. Yeah, you are healing. Moving on from a situation. Trust the unseen. Continue to step without seeing the stare. Why? You're a big cat, darling dears. And once you know who you are, knowing thyself, Socrates told us. And then Tesla gave us the key to the universe in the 369. You're winning, darling dears. Base of the deck. What makes you feel secure? Support your home, your base, and it's the 4th house. Again, what did I say? The house of the ancestors, darling dears. Yep. Hey! They ain't playing today. They want you to get the message, darling dears. Get the message. The memo. Yep. All right. Let's get a deck and dive even deeper into this. Let's get a deck I haven't used in a while. I'll use this one. Base of the deck, new beginning for you, full energy. You took a leap of faith in a different direction. It's about taking a risk. You have an older person, a differing age coming into your life, darling dears. Maybe this is the person that's coming with the message, or you could be the older person, but it's a difference in age as well as perspective. You are a rebel, darling dears. You broke many a generational curse when you chose you. You decided to pack light. Come through, Erykah Badu. Posh, clap. A new beginning. You are an eternal child, but you are learning. You are taking the fool's journey, but with the 2020. New relationships are definitely coming towards you, darling dears. And for some, this is a new lover. One which is what? Guided. This is someone that you're going to meet on your travels. This also, go and watch the Earth sign reading for next week. There's a message there for you. Yeah. Washing your face like David from situations where there's a lot of starvation, gossip, betrayal, backstabbing. Where you was hurt, you cried your last tear in a situation. Cards are difficult to go together. There's many that you've let go of. You've put down a lot of things, darling dears. 5 of Swords is Mercury and Aquarius energy, darling dears. Aquarius speaks about groups. Okay, you've left a group or a set of people behind, darling dears. The Aquarius energy is the sudden change because you're different, highly intuitive, darling dears. This is about you planning your future now that you've left them. High Priestess. You may even be a tarot reader or have a spiritual business, darling dears. But it's about to what? Have a light, a spotlight shining on it, darling dears. Major arcana. Yep. Because you left this situation. You listened to the 3 things, even when you didn't know you was listening. You're not going round and round in any circles with no feeble-minded simpleton who is low-hanging fruit. who betrayed you and will betray you again. This is about you holding on to your spiritual guidance. And for those going into a relationship, darling dears, this is spiritually guided. Someone on your spiritual pay grade. This is about you once and for all putting the past behind you like a ponytail. Clarify having to wash your face like David. Yeah, because it was all distractions, darling dears. Smoke and mirrors. Charming, of course they were charming to your face, but it's because of what you brought to the table. You had to bring about this change, release distractions in your life. Distractions that no longer serve you. Yeah, solo dolo, like the boys or girls on the pole. You also have the energy of the 8, the sign of infinity, abundance. It's about you, what? Standing in authority and your personal power. The number 8 is ruled by Saturn, the father of time, the sky father, as well as what? Rules and regulations, discipline, but over rewards, darling dears. Yeah. You're going to be gifted a new soul group, darling dears. You are. What did I say? 1111 fade. And when we see an 1111, it's about manifestation of this new beginning. Listen to your intuition and your discernment. This is how your ancestral team speak to you. Base of the deck. That's the truth roof. Pinkies up. Clarify this Queen of Wands. They're still curious about you, darling dears. Whatever circle or set, right, you've left behind. Yeah, they're seeing you being in emotional alignment. How do they feel about that? They're watching, mate. Well, it's their justice. It's their karma to sit, right? Pardon me, that's a spiritual belch because I speaks the truth, Ruth. It's their karma to sit and look at what you've got going on. And again, the energy of the 7, darling dears. 2 7s on the tableau. 1 by the dice and 1 on the card, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. This speaks about light-hearted fun, love. Somebody wants to know if you've moved on from a negative situation, a past relationship. Yes. They want to know if you're still heartbroken over a past situation. Right now, blood. You put everything down, Death card. This is your transformation season. Death card is Scorpio energy, which is the 8th house, darling dears. The 8th house of joint finances. It was a marriage of some sort, but it's over. Your karmic debt in that situation has been paid, right? High Priestess, again, making right choices, right? Gemini energy, using your intellect and your knowledge. Some of you are using your occult knowledge, right? Understanding that your sun sign is not the only important sign. It's your sun, moon, and rising on a natal chart. How about that? You are going within. This is a lot of deep studying you've been doing. Become a keyboard gangster, or maybe you've gone into an organization, but you've learned, darling dears. Yeah. This is why the right people are being attracted to you now. People are watching you online. World card, World Wide Web, darling dears. They're watching you create this new beginning. And you're also in your bag, but again, you know your worth. And can you stand any more Skrilla.com? That's opportunities. When we see an archway, darling dears, it speaks about an opening, a passageway, right, for you. Yeah, they're stressed out about what you've got going on. They see this change in you and your back is firmly turned. Law 16 of the 48 laws of power. Yeah. You don't know, you're not seeking no kind of parlez-vous, right, or ceasefire from any of these people. It was negative, darling dears. But you had to learn to move away from this heartbreak betrayal. Somebody's also getting over a surgery that they've had. Yeah. 2 3s on the tableau speaks about what? Choices. And you made a right choice. And again, you had many options, darling dears. Yeah, one was to stay amongst those fighting amongst themselves. And you, who wants to be around a back front neck stabbing snake straight out of the crevice of the devil's balls? No one. You did the right thing. If ever you are second guessing or questioning yourself, or should I go to check? No, blood. Check on who? Fiwa. Remember what they did. It's about forgiveness, but remember the bastardo's name. Hey. Woo, child. Let's go to some more intuitive cards. We're going to go with the green ones. I haven't used these in a while. Some more messages for the big cat. What's this? Catfish. They weren't the right person, darling dears. They expected, they weren't their true self, darling dears. They pretended in the, look, and they're not. You didn't leave nothing that was meant to be kept. This is what? Bare disrespect, darling dears, right? They were bold with it. They dishonored you. They held you in contempt, right? They've got a bloody cheek, and the impertinence of it all. How dare they? All right. They catfished you, darling dears. In some cases, you was catfished from the cradle, darling dears. You was around narcs, self-serving. Whatever gift you had and they saw it in you, they tried to beat it down. But you learned. You learned, darling dears. For some reason, you was always protected. You always brought balance back into the situation. Justice, the Libra energy justice card. It speaks about the equilibrium. You wanted to bring equilibrium back to a situation. But this is open enemies. Where you had no alliances in these one-to-one relationships. They were one-to-one to your face, but you dare turn your back, big cat. You dare. Let's get another deck. So about they want you to follow you, darling. You to follow them back, but they are watching you. What did I say? The mouth breathers. Your ancestors know. All right. They are stressed out, darling dears. Yeah, pride always comes before a fool, darling dears. Always thought they was better than you, right? Look, they never loved you. There was no love in that black hole they dare call a heart. Yeah, thoughtful, darling dears. They never loved you. Come on. Look at their actions and the words and the things that they done did. Right? They slept on a big cat. Ooh, child. Why are these cards all turned around? What's going on? No. They trying to disrespect you and dishonor you still, darling dears, because you were spiritually guided to walk away. You are a descendant from an ennobled lineage. You chose to come back to this life to help the feeble-minded. You've had many life experiences with them, darling dears. You had completed your cycle. You chose to come back to help them. And what did they do? Right? They're tired and played out and run through. Right? Listen, too loud. It's too loud now, darling dears. You see, the thing is, your silence is speaking volumes. Law 16 of the 48 laws of power and Matthew 10:14. When disrespected, you dust off your sandals and head out. Tinky winky styly, darling dears. You left and now they're worried. In some cases you're thinking, why didn't I do it before? Because you wasn't strong enough, darling dears. You hadn't been thumbed down, beaten down enough. You had to realize the cycle had to end. This tired, plum tuckered out, tired. These hood-looking alfalfas. They gave you drapetomania, the irresistible urge to run away like Tinky Winky with your back arched and on the balls of your feet. Trust in this process, darling dears. Some of you are writers. You wrote down something in your journal. Maybe you wrote down your ambitions, what your goals, your dreams, darling dears. They're about to come to fruition. Many of you are what, as I said, readers. Something you wrote down, darling dears, is about to what? Come on top. Why? You've been helping others. Well, they've been up those ones that you had to leave behind with their whisperings of Hannibal Lecter. Lordy cheek. Let me try my other. I've got another. Let me go with another deck. Base of the deck, we've got the 10 of Wands. You put down that burden, darling dears. Tell me something else. High Priestess. Third eye on them mitches and bitches, darling dears. Third eye on them. Where is it? We've got the crystal ball up twice, the energy of the duality of it all, darling dears. This is what balancing the dark and the light. You had to balance out your shadow side. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, darling dears. You realize that you hold both, but you learn to control it. You know which cat to feed, the dark or the light. Yeah, you did. This is about inner knowing, intuitively move. Look, the devil is not welcome. You have to leave them behind. And they are obsessed, darling dears. Obsessed and jealous with what you have created. And the biggest thing you created is peace. That big P. Yeah. They have no peace, darling dears. What's this? 5 of Cups. What does it say? Bye, bitch. Hey! Ooh, child. There is no love lost there for you. You're no longer disappointed in the circumstance or situation. You're moving on, darling dears, with forgiveness, right? And you've recovered from whatever it is. Yes? Yeah. What did I say? You dropped the burden, spiritually guided. Clarify the High Priestess. You already knew this, darling dears. You had to let it go. But it was the battle. We saw the 2 different crystal balls, the light and the dark. You had to balance out those energies. High Priestess is clarified by the 5 of Wands, darling dears. Yeah, you knew about these conflict bringers, these people that come and bring you and give you angina issues, darling dears. We've got the 6 of Wands, making the right choice to move away from a situation or circumstance. And again, spiritually guided. Be confident, darling dears. Many of you are about to what? Step into recognition. You've achieved something really big. On there it says OnlyFans. Is someone into OnlyFans? Good God. We've got the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is your cup runneth over because you are rejecting the devil's most diligent workers, darling dears. 4 of Wands. Why? Because Divine is going to gift you with an 1111 fade. You have your ancestral team. They are your team, your security. Call them. They cannot help you unless you ask. But you are being congratulated at this moment in time because you've broken generational curses, removed cycles from your life, which will not cycle down to your progeny. Why? Because you're a big cat and you know who you are. Emotional alignment, 10-10, breakthrough, darling dears. Breakthrough. Look at this shiznai. We've got the Knight of, was it the King of Pentacles on its face, the Knight of Pentacles on its face, and the Page of Cups. These lying liars, these chancers, right? They're doing it for the gram, darling dears. They're disingenuous. They're nothing but a major distraction in your life, darling dears. This also speaks about arguments and fights, darling dears. Yep, they're fighting over some kind of debt, some kind of bill, right? We're seeing 203 or the number 23 on the clock, darling dears. The 2 and the 3 go down to a 5. And what's that? Conflict and confusion, darling dears. But they're refusing to change. Why are they refusing? Because they can't outshine you, darling dears. Star card. They can't outshine you, right? You've got the Hangman because your perspectives change. 4 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Spiritual strength and protection, darling dears. 4 of Cups is about you no longer being disappointed by fools, the feeble-minded. Good child. Congratulate yourself, big cat. Getting rid of all of that negative energy right before we go into what? Pluto in Aquarius, which tells you transformation is afoot. Individually and for society as a whole, because Pluto is a what? Generational planet. Last time it was in Aquarius was 248 years ago, and it was the American and the French Revolution, right? It was the abolitionist, you know, to abolish slavery. That's when they first put it on the tableau, darling dears. The British Empire expanded. It was the revolution of industrial revolution. changes afoot. All of these energies had to go before that time for you to be in spiritual alignment for what is coming into your life. And you have the shoulders to bear it because you are big cat, ibex, chosen by your ancestors to get this descendant message. You was right to avoid those catfishing people. You was right. How dare they trying to outshine the master? Law number 1 of the 48 laws of power. So how do they feel now that you've left them? They, them and Wheel of Fortune. They've seen the change in you, darling dears. 8 of Cups. Yeah. Somebody's unhappy that you've left the drama behind, darling dears. Moon card, but you already read them. You've got their file, a see-through pamphlet, and it also speaks about spell castation, darling dears. Yeah, 9 of Swords. They wanted you to be mad, depressed, distressed, anxious. There's a lot of negative talk going your way, darling dears. They're still talking it up about you. Yeah, and how you manifest, darling dears. Them don't like it. Well, it's their karma to watch you win. We saw the 2 of Pentacles solo dolo, like the boys or girls on the pole. They need the energy of each other. And this is what 9 of Wands. You are spiritually protected. They can't do a thing, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. Posh, clap. Your resilience, darling dears. They wanted you to continue to be in defense mode, trying to defend yourself in a situation where divine was tasking you to separate. Your ancestors tasked you to separate, and separate you did, right? What's this Page of Cups? No liars need apply. No one who is emotionally mature or manipulative, darling dears. You do not drink with these people. You do not eat with these people. And it was the best decision you ever made, 7 of Cups. Yeah! Rise up the big cat. Yeah, give them Easter Island and Stevie Wonder, which is love and light. 2 of these and 1 of those. Let's get a final card, then we're out of here to get great. We're going to go with Kipper, because you love the Kipper so much. They didn't think you'd end the situation. 33 is a master number, darling dears. It speaks about you what? Delivering whatever it is, your skill set, your talent, whatever it is, continue to deliver it to the world, darling dears. We already saw that it's spiritually guided. They're worried. They know that the situation is dodo dead. You are not seeking companionship with them, darling dears. The situation is dead. And when you close doors to certain things, you open doors to what truly is attracted to you and the energy of the Four. What did I just tell you, darling dears? You are securing everything. In front of an archway, opportunities. Look at this community at your back, darling dears, where they're meant to be, watching your butt cheeks disappear over the horizon. What's this? You bossed up on them, darling dears. Energy of the 6, making the right choices. And they have karma on their side. And we already saw court proceedings in a lower court. Yeah, where you're going to get your just desserts. Maybe somebody's going to be going to a courthouse for a marriage. Yeah, this is Father God. There's 2 God cards. Yeah, he's ensuring that what? They are your footstool. They're going to see your head be anointed and you be blessed and raised up in front of them. How dare they? How dare they dared? But they can't do that again because you heeded the warning of the 3 things. Not to go round in circles, not to go back and forth or out of your way. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks where I also upload videos. If you'd like a personal read from me, please hit me up in the Gmail. All of my intel is in the description box below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share these messages with whomsoever you feel it. And leave your comment. Your comment is a survival kit for another big cat. Thank you for your bookings, your donations, and your continued support of me and this channel. You are free, big cat. Continue to fly. Show them what you're working with. And remember, law number 4, say less. Law number 5, protect your reputation. And law number 40, despise the free lunch. Big cat wave until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.
How you came to be is no longer a mystery. Black sheep is your birthright. It's code for the one who brings the light. I bet if there's a crack, you don't fall back. Remember who you are. Rest for the wicked with their skullduggery. The you spell workers, projection to send out envy, hate, and jealousy. You are the prototype, your ancestors champion. They shield you and send back those spiritual attacks. You are divinely protected from the dummy bats. Yeah. Big cat, the most high, got your back. He sits high and looks low, so don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat moving silence. Only time you speak is to say checkmate.